Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're hanging with Louis Ozawa from Amazon Prime's Hunters, and I'm hanging with Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio.
My deepest sorrows about your grandmother. We're in the camps together.
She lives through all that just to be shot in her living room by a burglar. It sounded like she knew him. It sounded
Personal.
Yeah.
You know what the best revenge is? Revenge. Your grandmother wished to protect you.
From what?
Nazis, Jonah. Goddamn Nazis. There's evil living here. They're our neighbors.
They've blinded themselves to us. You can get away with anything in America.
So your grandmother and I created the Hunters.
We put together a group of Nazi hunters.
We're a lock picker, spy, soldier, master of disguise,
Showtime.
and two weapons experts.
We would bring God's justice. What do you say?
I want in.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Today, we have a really cool dude in the studio. He's a master of the martial arts, a sword wielder. I've liked him since Predator, and I still like him right now. We have Louis Ozawa on Comic-Con Radio. Welcome, Louis. How are you?
Yo, what's happening?
Hey, so let's go right into this. Louis, do you know how to do martial arts in real life, or is just in the movies?
Well, I do. I've been practicing kendo since I was a young boy, and so that's the main martial arts that I practice in Predators. You can see the sword fight on display with the Predator, and that battle was kendo. It was largely influenced by kendo.
And kendo is the way of the sword, so you are a sword master. You are a modern-day samurai. You wield the sword like it's your arm. Is that right?
You can say that, I guess.
Hey, man, that's fabulous. And you do it very well. Also, man,
Thank you.
got a very familiar face. Now, even if a person watching a movie or TV series doesn't know your name, your face is very familiar. It looks like you've been around a long time. You've been in every movie, every action scene. And there's been some action scenes that you have kicked butt in. For example, the Jason Bourne series or saga, one of the scenes, I heard it was like a 20 or 30 minute scene, and you were just going nuts with that.
Yeah, that's right. It's the Bourne Legacy 25-minute chase scene in Manila that took nearly 3.5 months to shoot. And I did most of my stunts. I wouldn't say most of my stunts. I did a lot of my stunts, which required me jumping off an 8-story building and swinging on wires towards scaffolding, jumping off of rooftops, sliding down scaffolding and jumping into cars and crashing those cars, and then jumping onto a scooter and hijacking that scooter and riding that until I find a motorcycle and jumping onto that motorcycle and riding that motorcycle through the streets of Manila. And so before I move on, I got to give props to all my stunt people because they make us look amazing. But the deal with the Bourne movies is the actors, everyone from Matt Damon to Jeremy Renner to Oscar Isaac, all these guys, we all have to do a lot of our stunts, and that's kind of the deal.
So in movies, because movies have huge insurance, they're willing to pay a lot in case you hurt your pretty little hands. But, there's a difference between doing your action scenes and your stunts. I heard you do both.
Yes. So if I'm shooting a gun or I'm in the midst of a hand-to-hand combat with a sword, I'm doing all of that. However, if I'm getting hit by a car or I'm crashing a motorcycle, that's not me. That's my stunt guy. And that's the difference between the action and the stunt.
Even if I was a master martial artist that could do 20 backflips, I would never want to get hit by a car because that's their job. Plus, you want to give them jobs. That's what they do all day. They practice how to jump over cars or look like they got hit or burn or whatever. So I get it, man. But I love your action scenes. Predator, really amazing. You were like this, hardcore Yakuza Samurai. Was that like one of your most major motion pictures during that time?
It was my first. I'd never done a Hollywood film until that point. I'd done indie movies, and I come from a theater background. I'm classically trained. I'd never, ever done a big budget movie, and then all of a sudden, I was one of the stars alongside guys like Lawrence Fishburne and Adrian Brody and Mahershala Ali and Danny Trejo, and so on and so forth. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So yeah, you could say that's definitely a turning point in my life. I will never forget the moments on that movie, and I learned so much from, everyone from Mahershala to Adrian to Alicia Braga. They were all so generous with their time with me, and they really allowed me to shine in this movie, which I'm forever grateful.
Wow. It must have been really overwhelming working with all these big names. Do you ever get starstruck?
Weirdly enough, because of that movie, no, it kind of demystified everything. They were all like, we were in the jungle every day together. That's the way they kind of shot it. They kind of shot it chronologically. So we were all together all the time, having dinners together, working out together, doing everything together. So it really felt like a team and a group. And I just felt like one of the people, one of the guys. And I've taken that with me wherever I go. I've worked with tons and tons of big actors to this point. The best people always seem to be the best people to work with.
Some people, when they first work in their first movie, they're like, wow. But you know what? I wouldn't want you to say that you're starstruck anyways.
Wait. Let me rephrase that. I was a little starstruck the first day we worked with Al.
It comes out, ladies and gentlemen. It comes out.
It's true.
No,
it's true. No one's as big as Al Pacino. So
we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. I got to get into that a little bit. I can't talk about it yet. It's like pumping out of my chest. The nerd and geek in me is like going to run out. But I gotta ask you one other thing, right? So, kendo master, martial artist, serious dude. Do you get annoyed sometimes with like co-stars and you're like, shoot, I can do that in my sleep, or you're very patient?
No. Always love.
Okay,
always love. Always love. Always love. It's the worst thing though, because there's a lot of things that I can't do well. Everyone has their weaknesses, and if the worst thing to do as an actor is to put on that pressure, and they can smell it. It's always like, hey, if they ask me for advice or if they ask me for some pointers, I will provide that. But otherwise, I leave that to the professionals to help them out. Yeah.
That's a good way to say it, but I know how you really feel inside. It's okay. Between me and you, bro, I understand you. And what you said earlier about, when you're on set and all of a sudden things like demystify. I'm that way as well. Growing up in the 80s, watching TV shows and movies, I've been around the Comic-Con universe for so long, and I've met so many amazing people, hundreds of interviews. So for me now, when I watch TV shows and movies, it's different because I know like 30% of them personally, but I still try to sit down, close my eyes. I'm like, okay, take away everything and watch the series or movie for what it is. And you know what? Mm-hmm. It works. And the way I watch things is I try to learn from it rather than see, okay, I know this guy, he wrote this, I was there when they did this or that. So I get that part. But here's the thing. You're a very sellable actor. And we'll get back to Bourne Identity and Predator. Let's go into Hunters. A Nazi hunting team led by a Jewish man that wants to get all the Nazis in New York City with a multi-universe team. This is crazy. It's lovely. It's wonderful. And man, you play your role good. How is that? How is meeting Al Pacino? I think one of the most legendary actors.
And you said it. He's a legend. He is one of two actors that I get like a little bit starstruck. Yeah. And the other one, and I haven't met him yet, and I'm dying to meet him, is Robert De Niro. It's guys like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They're the guys that made me want to become an actor when I was growing up in the 80s. And, I revisited their films from the 70s as I started to get more serious about acting. they were just so iconic to see him in this series as one of my castmates and being part of his team. And kind of our show takes place in 1977, so that was a trip as well, you know, to kind of go back in time and sort of pick his brain a little bit about the time period, you know, because that's my favorite time as far as cinema goes.
So the 70s is your favorite time as far as cinema goes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That?
The Godfather, all those movies. Absolutely.
You know what trips me out? Looking at Al Pacino, he's aged. What is he, in his late 70s, early 80s, something like that?
He's 79.
79, yeah, they just pointed on the screen. 79 years old. 79 years young. Okay, that's what he is.
That's correct.
Watching him on screen, it kind of trips me out because all of his movies are so popular and they're played on television and everywhere so much that I see him in every age bracket all the time. It just trips me out to see him old because I'm like, what's going on? I just saw him 2 days ago and he looked 30 and he looked 40 there and he looked 50 here. It's just so wicked. But he plays the role really well. He does that part so amazing. Now, here's the thing. Since you look up to him so much, when you went on set and you had a one-on-one scene with him for the first time, what went on through your mind at that moment?
You know, by this point, I think my one-on-one scene with Al was like episode 9 or 10. So by this point, we had all exchanged, you know, very intimate details about our lives. And, you know, to be honest, you know, I was super excited, obviously, super excited. But it was so hot that day we were shooting. And we really ripped out the scene pretty quickly, to be honest. I wish I could say it was like magic, you know, and my heart was aflutter. And believe me, I was very excited that day. But like you said, you know,
it's hot as hell.
It's hot as hell. And you don't want to be keeping Al Pacino out in the sun sweating and getting tired. You know, that's not the right thing to do. So I thought I threw down with Al. I'm going to try to put this in a way that I don't spoil anything. But at this point, Joe, which is my character, who is absolutely devoted, would die for Meyer, for Al's character kind of guy, at this point in time is questioning his loyalty to him. Just a little bit, yeah. So
I saw the series. I saw it already. Yeah. I know.
Thank you for watching the whole thing. Yeah,
I support every show, every showrunner, everything. We watch it as a team. Yeah. We have to know what's up because this is Comic-Con universe, baby. We got to know what's going on because I cannot have you on the show and not watch what you've been in. I got to see it. And luckily,
thank you.
Luckily, Louis, I've watched it before you came on. So there you go. Now,
I'm glad we could have this interview now because, like, because honestly, as you probably know, like, a lot happens in the back half of the series.
Yes.
And so a lot of the journalists who we've met, like, during the press week, was before they dropped the last 5 episodes. They'd only seen 5 of them. And, you know, there's a lot of questions to be answered. And so I'm glad you got to see that.
Well, the thing is that I saw the series, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, and I'm going to ask you some questions about it. You know, the first couple episodes are really cool because it lays down what's up. Then it gets a little bit like, okay, they're doing it, and then it gets really good. It has that. It grabs you, tells you what's going on, then everybody's doing what they're supposed to, and then it gets crazy. And what I mean is crazy good, and everybody should watch it because I'm going to tell you one thing. Amazon Prime has some of the most amazing TV shows out there, and they're underrated. I don't know why. Like Carnival Row, Hunters, like so many other TV shows on Amazon Prime.
The Boys. I'm a huge fan of The Boys. Are you? I love that show.
Yes. What an amazing series. You should be on that, man. You should go on that. You're one of the boys.
Well, let's talk. Maybe you could suggest that to Amazon.
Well, whoever's listening, you know what? They should also put you on a new CW, DC, Berlanti TV series. I think you would do amazing. There's so many new shows coming out.
Well, you know, I've already, I'm kind of in the DC universe at this point on TV.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
How was that experience?
But yes. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing to be part of the DC universe and to be playing such a wildly eccentric character like the Hat. It was fun. I'm working on a play right now, and we have a few kind of magic tricks that we have up our sleeve, and I was thinking about all the magic and hat tricks that I had to learn, and man, always fun to
Well,
learn new
yeah,
things.
you're the hat on Supergirl. I get that. But I think
Mhm.
since all the Earths merged into one Earth, I think they should restart you over as a new character, like a kendo character where you wield swords and
Hey,
you're in your like world. That's your universe.
if they'll have me, that would be great.
I think it
Love
would
it.
be amazing because we need that. We need more superheroes on TV that wield because it's such a cool art form.
Mm.
Carrying a sword,
Mm.
ultra cool. And there's a lot of comic characters out there. I don't want to get into it because there's like thousands. I can go on for hours, but
I'm sure you could, and that's way
I
past my pay grade.
geek for life. But here's the thing. What's your favorite type of TV or movie to work on? Is it martial arts or non-martial arts? What would you love to do? I know what you're comfortable in because you're training weapons and you could do all those cool things, but what do you feel most comfortable in?
You know what? I got to be honest. I'm a classically trained actor. I went to theater school for 3 years and studied the classics. And so I never thought I was going to be an action guy, to be honest. And I remember on set on Predators, Topher Grace was like, listen, man, I just hope you know, I know you're like a legit actor, but for the next 10 years, you're going to be doing nothing but action. And, you know, and I was like, come on, man, I'm a serious actor. And lo and behold, 10 years later, you know, the majority of my roles were action based. And, you know, it hasn't been until the past 5 years I've been doing everything under the sun, you know, comedy like Kidding on Showtime and hard-hitting dramas. And I'm enjoying this role on Hunters because I can do a little bit of everything. I get to do a little of the drama, I get a little of the comedy, a little of the romance, and then I also get to do some kick-ass action scenes. You know, that's the beautiful thing about this show.
Does that bother you that you were in all those action stuff, or do you like that as kind of like a foundation that you showed, hey, I'm a badass, but I also can
No, it
act like
doesn't.
Juilliard style acting, you know?
I went to Brown, not Juilliard, but yes.
Uh-oh, there's a match right there.
Yeah, it's okay. Oscar Isaac went to Juilliard. He's got a little bit of it all too. Yes, come on, don't get me wrong, man. How cool to be able to go to countries like the Philippines to shoot. You know, go to Hungary to shoot Spectral, or go to Hawaii to shoot the first part of Predators, and get to play with all these movie stars. And I mean, it's a kid's dream, right? It's a kid's dream. But and I'm so fortunate to be able to do all of it now. And I have a career, and I'm able to put food on the table for my family. And yeah, I have no complaints at all.
That's good to hear. We don't really know how you actually truly feel, but just to see you and the way you act and the things that you do, it seems like you're having lots of fun and you love what you're doing. And like you said, going to all these places in the world and experiencing everything. I think everything has its time. And it's time for you, man. It's time for this explosion for you. And, you know, the fandom community loves you. I know you want to do more, theater-style things and more dramatic. But, hey, man, get what you can. Become a star. And let me tell you something, Louis. Your character on Hunter, I'm going to say it again, is great. Can you share a little with the listeners who your character is? What's your purpose? Why are you there?
Absolutely. Joe Mizushima is a Vietnam War veteran. He was he's an American. He's Japanese American, raised in an internment camp, in a concentration camp in the United States, and he's suffering a lot. And a guy named Meyer Offerman, played by little-known actor Al Pacino, discovers him when he's at his lowest point, and so Joe becomes his soldier, his muscle, in this group of Nazi hunters. And you start to understand as the series go on where his trauma and his pain comes from. And it's not quite like any character I've ever played or seen on TV, to be honest. I don't know, have you? Especially as an Asian American guy. I can't say I've ever seen anything like this.
I haven't either. I haven't never seen an Asian American actor in such a predicament in a TV series or a movie with such a cause. I get it. You're a vet and it's the 70s. We have to get in that mindset with this TV series. It's not current times. So you're still coming from the wars, the issues and all that. And you're out there for a purpose, and you're doing this because of a reason, and that's why you're loyal. And as the episodes go, things do change, but you're loyal because of a purpose, and that's pretty cool, and it's different. You are right. There's nothing like it out there.
And, that's like 5 years ago. No, scratch that. 3 years ago, there would be a white guy playing this role. Like, I'm 100% like convinced of that. Certainly wouldn't be an Asian guy. And so I feel very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time, and to have a guy like Jordan Peele leading this show, and a guy like David Weil, who is so inclusive and open to having this diverse cast. And why not, right? It works perfectly.
Well, diversity is amazing. That's what I think. It's tremendously amazing. And
we need more of it.
Yeah,
we need more of it, man.
Oh, yeah. There's shows now that even have full casts of Asian Americans or full casts of any nationality. And it's amazing to see that the diversity that's going on. And it's not a TV show or movie that's, based on their ethnic background. No, they're in America doing stuff, and it's okay, And people are like, yes, this is great. It's amazing. And more of it's coming. It's changing. Things are absolutely changing, and it's wonderful. So here's the thing. With that, you were raised both in Japan and New York City, Queens, New York?
Born in Queens, New York.
Wow.
Born and raised in New York City. I was born in Flushing but raised in Manhattan. But I spent my summers going back and forth to Japan as a kid.
How about that, Flushing? I love that city. It's, cool, Flushing. Wow. It's so amazing.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I am from New York. I am from
Where in
Queens,
New York?
New York.
There you go.
But
Another Queens boy.
Yeah, I'm a Queens boy, but I live between Manhattan and LA, back and forth. I have to do that. It's the crazy life of what I do. But that's great, man. Probably grew up around the same area, and we never know.
That's right.
Well,
yeah, that's right. I went to Stuyvesant High School, all that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, look at that. A Queens boy now rocking Hollywood. Go figure, right? Go figure.
That's right.
Now, when you were growing up, was acting something you wanted to always do, or did it come on like later in life?
Later in life, I gotta say. Yeah, I was very much into sports and girls. If I'm gonna be honest.
Oh. So there's
Acting
girls
was
out
not
there that
really
are probably
on my radar.
heartbroken, and they're gonna listen to this. They're gonna be like, this guy.
Hardly.
Many hearts, huh? Look at you, hearts. Look at that. He added an S, ladies and gentlemen. He pluralized the hearts.
Stop putting words in my mouth.
You just did it. You said hearts. I heard that. So go ahead. So tell us how was it growing up?
That was a wild time, in the 90s. I was in the high school. I was in New York City, a very different place from now. And it was fun, alive. There was a lot of buzz in the air. It was a cool place. Adrian Brody, he's just a few years older than me, but he grew up in Queens as well. He could tell you that. But I live in LA now, but my heart is still here in New York. It's a different place now, but I always feel alive whenever I'm here.
During the 90s, it was that curve of change in New York, all over New York, every borough, every piece of it. So you've seen the drastic changes, and that was probably the time. Was it high school that acting became like a bug in you, or was it a little bit after?
Just a little after, when I just, I went to California to go to college, and all of a sudden I was, away from everything, away from all this stimulus and art and people and cultures, and I got really down and a little bit bored, and then I stumbled upon an intro to acting class, and I started doing it, and the teacher thankfully saw my talent and said, hey, you should give this a shot, and why don't you try auditioning for some of the school plays? And I happened to be in the right place at the right time, got an agent, a manager, and then I started working. I started doing TV commercials and finished college, and I went back to New York and continued doing that for a little while. And then I realized at that point that I really didn't know enough about acting, and so I applied to graduate school, and that's when everything changed, the whole world of acting. I went down that path and graduated from Brown in 2006, and I don't know what else I could do at this point aside from acting. I've been doing it all my life now.
It's like embedded in you. It's all you know. It's who you are. You eat and breathe it, basically.
Basically, yeah.
So graduating Brown with an acting degree, not a lot of people is able to do that. Either can't afford it or don't have the time for it. What would you give them advice to do if they cannot go the path? Also grades. Some people just can't go to college.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend for them?
I hear you. Yeah. These schools only take like 15 to 20 people, from around the country. So it's very hard to get into the school. But, there's no one path. On Predators, Mahershala and I were the only ones to have gone to graduate school, let alone college. Everyone else had dropped out of college even. They hadn't even finished college. So if you're good, you're good, and if you're really into it and this is the thing you want to do, then I suggest go and watch and do as much as you can. New York, I always say New York is the best place to cut your teeth because you can do theater here and you can see the best actors in the world performing every night on stage. And you can go to the cinema, go to the theater and get into the theater yourself. That's the only way to do it. As far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that's wonderful. A lot of people don't know about Brown. Brown is an amazing, prestigious school. It's in Rhode Island, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And wow. Yeah. And they only take a certain amount of people per year. And to be part of that graduate program, it's great. Does it feel good at times that you're on a movie set or TV set or something like that on a project, but inside that you have like a graduate degree? You have basically a master's degree in arts. It's a pretty great thing. Does it make you feel different when you're acting like, hey, I went to college, I graduated, I have a master's in theater, I went to a prestigious school, look, I'm on a set? It
doesn't make me feel any better or worse than anybody, but it did make me feel when I stepped on the set on Predators, I can do this, and I've never worked as hard as I did when I was in graduate school because they really beat you down with the workload. And so it doesn't matter how busy I've ever been, working 16-hour, 18-hour days on set in the pouring rain and the freezing cold. I felt like I was prepared and ready to work and ready to act at any moment. And that I have to thank being in graduate school. Absolutely. I had the tools.
You had the tools and you had the know-how, and it changed your life once you hit to the graduate program because you're being taught by the best in the world. Now, is theater something you want to get back into sometimes? Just do it. A lot of actors, they go into that for fun.
I'm talking to you from Manhattan right now because I'm rehearsing the play at the moment.
Nice. Which play is that? Can you tell us?
It's a play called The Antipodes. Weirdly enough, it's a show that performs in Los Angeles, but we're rehearsing right now in New York City. It opens at the Mark Taper Forum. Mm-hmm.
How exciting. Are you excited about it?
Very exciting. Very exciting. It's the LA premiere of Annie Baker's The Antipodes. She's a Pulitzer Prize-winning play, one of my favorite playwrights. I couldn't ask for a better play to be involved in.
Well, I hope everyone goes out and sees that. Now, I wanted to ask you one thing, and I know you're going to be modest about it. Everybody's modest about this question. Which TV show or movie or project was it that you realized that, okay, I've kind of, not to say made it. Nobody says I made it, Mom, but kind of you had that feeling that I'm in, I'm one of the people out there and I'm one of them. Which one was it?
I suppose it's this one, I've, weirdly enough, Predators is an international franchise, as is the Bourne legacy, but there were so many stars they were promoting in that movie, in both of those movies, that and I was just getting started. But in this show, as you've seen on the billboards all over New York City and all over Los Angeles, they've showered us with love, and our faces are everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
So
everywhere.
It's everywhere, And so as far as my friends and family go, this is the biggest exposure that I've had. But and acting opposite Al Pacino. I guess you could say this is the one, right? This is the thing. To have Amazon investing in us and supporting us, and they've been supportive from the get-go. So to have that company behind you, yeah, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
Amazon's behind you. You guys are good. A good ensemble, and it's, I think, Al Pacino's first TV series as well. So there's a lot of love out there for all of you.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
After
crazy.
all these years.
I never would have. You know what? I've noticed a lot, and I tell everyone this. I've noticed, and it's happening. A lot of big movie stars that only would touch movies are dying to be in TV shows now or have their own TV series, whereas before they would never even touch it. I used to chat with some of them. They're like, I would never do a TV series. But now they're like, I'd rather do the TV series than the movie, because the movie might work, might not. But that TV show is going to become amazing. They know for a fact it is. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It is amazing. I've seen that shift in my not even my lifetime, in the last 10 years. It's really changed quite a bit. Especially with all the streaming services out there.
Oh, yeah.
We have amazing opportunities, incredible scripts, incredible talent that want to do TV series. Hey, I just did a TV series with Jim Carrey,
Nice. Kidding,
and Catherine
right?
Keener of all. Yeah, so...
How was that meeting him? Did you ever idolize Jim Carrey? Did you ever watch In Living Color? Because that was
heck
the show.
Yeah.
During our time, that was it.
Fire Marshal Bill was one of my favorite characters.
Can you do his character? Can you do it?
I can't even do it right now. Alrighty then. Might be too intense.
That's a good one. There you go.
Yeah.
You did great.
This is more. This is more the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Jim Carrey, that you're witnessing and kidding, as opposed to Fire Marshal Bill or Ace Ventura. But
how is it working with him?
Oh, he's a lovely guy, beautiful guy, and absolutely one of the biggest movie stars that we have today. And my storyline, though, is mainly with Catherine Keener, and she is one of my heroes. So I really, really, really enjoyed my time with her. Get to play her bizarre lover, which is so much fun.
So I have a question. On all these projects you've been on, who is the one person that you've connected the most with? And I know there's a lot, and I know there's many, but one that stands out to you, and you're like, okay, I really connected with this person.
Alicia Braga.
Okay.
The Queen of the South. We met on our flight to Hawaii to shoot Predators. And I don't know what it was, but we just connected, and she just she's my sister from another mister. She's, to this day, she came to the premiere of Hunters. I try to support whenever I can be at her premieres. Yeah, we try. She's so busy, obviously, but when we can, we see each other. Weirdly enough, she has the same birthday as my firstborn son. The exact same birthday. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a little kinship there.
You guys got a kinship. It's made in the stars. Having that relationship with her is amazing. So you having children, would you ever want any of your kids to be an actor?
I prefer them not to, because one of the hardest things to witness as a parent is to see your child struggling. And this is a profession where 99.9% of people struggle. And even those people that are succeeding 1% also struggles. There are a lot of ups and downs in this profession, and so selfishly, I wouldn't want to see that. But if they really felt passionately, if one of my sons or both of them were passionate about acting, then yeah, why not? I mean, my parents supported me, so I'd be happy to support them too.
Well, you know why I say that? Because I have a lot of friends that have children, and their children want to be actors and, celebrities and all that. And I don't see them struggling because their parents got so much money. And their kids are set up in $10,000 apartments in LA, and they got Mercedes, and I'm like, your kid's not gonna learn this way, and I get it. You can't say, okay, money, you have money or not money, but there's a certain type of fierceness when you have to eat. I just feel that way. Not to say anything
Yeah.
that, the wealthy can't become amazing actors or actors. I don't want to say that. Guys and gals out there, please don't take it that way. But I'm just saying there's a certain fierceness I see from people when they struggle a little. I don't know. Just my thought. What do you think?
A little bit of struggle builds character for sure. Yeah, you can smell that in people's performances. Absolutely. Yeah. If it's someone who's only ever acted in their life and that's all they've ever done, and they've never had to worry about money, there's nothing wrong with just acting in your life, and there's nothing wrong with not struggling if you're lucky enough to just constantly be working. That's great, but it builds character. Most of the great actors come from a little bit of struggle. Yeah.
But you would never want your kids to go through that. So you would probably do whatever you can to open doors for them. And it's great. My dad said this to me. He said, become the most talented person in the world, study your socks off, go through the struggles. But if there's an open door, you better run through it. Because
that's right.
I've noticed in a lot of things, especially in Hollywood and everything that we do, if someone opens the door a little for you and gives you that opportunity and you take that and you become the best, that's great. But those are here and there. But that's amazing too, to get a little bit helping hand sometimes. Not financially, but just a little door opening. Yeah. I've heard that a lot.
That's the hardest thing, to get your foot in the proverbial door. But even once you get your foot in the door, you still have to deliver, and that's where the training comes in handy. And that's where being good actually means something. So, if I could help my children prepare to be an actor and give them the tools, or help them, guide them so that they can acquire those tools and make sure they're getting the right training and the right advice. If I can help them in that way, I would absolutely help them with that.
Are you excited as they grow, they can get to watch your movies and TV shows? Are you excited or are you nervous? Which one?
My oldest is only 5 years old, so it'll be several years before they'll actually be able to see anything that I've done. Not even my comedies my kids will be able to see. Kidding is not child friendly by any means. So,
but are you excited for
the
that,
hard
or are you
part,
nervous? Or do you
I'm
pick
nervous.
parts
I'm
selectively
nervous
now because you're like,
I'm
they're
nervous.
gonna see Dad. I don't want to show my butt,
Yeah, I'm nervous. Yeah, why do you have that puppet on your penis? That's actually a harder one to explain than my son recently, because the billboards are everywhere and you drive everywhere in LA. My son recently was like, "Why are you holding a gun in that? That's you. Why are you holding a gun there?" And I had to explain how it wasn't a real gun and that I don't condone shooting and this is just make believe. And it's a difficult conversation to have with a 5-year-old. Oh, and his classmates at preschool are like, "I saw you on TV. You look," because the commercial ran during the Super Bowl or something. They said, "You look very. Are you? Is Bodie? My son's name is Bodie. Is Bodie's dad angry?" No, I'm not angry.
It's called acting.
Yeah, all the kids are like running away from me.
Yeah, they're like, he's gonna beat us up. Your daddy killed somebody on TV.
It's just, I know.
Well, you're gonna get a lot of that. But I think as your kids grow and they get into junior high, high school, I think it's gonna be lots of fun. And growing up in that kind of household, they're going to know the difference. There's so many parents that are actors that their kids, by like the time they're like 10, 11, know already, okay, my dad's an actor, my mom's an actress, whatever, that's their job, and they differentiate it. But I get it. In the beginning, when they see your billboards all over LA, like, I'm seeing you everywhere, man. It's like I can't go anywhere without seeing a billboard of you guys. So it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's good. The TV series is amazing. Is there any other projects that you're currently on that you want to share?
I have a small independent film where I guess you would call it in the rom-com genre. I play a Bay Area dad who's trying to have another child and is struggling, and so I've hired my wife and I have hired a surrogate. It's called The Beautiful Dreamer. The Beautiful Dreamer is the name of the film. Not sure the screening date yet, but we're hoping that within the next 6 months that it'll find distribution and you'll be able to stream it. But right now, at the moment, you'll be able to see me in the first season of Kidding and the first season of Another Life on Netflix and Hunters. That's really the most available stuff. You can look back at my older work like Spectral and Bourne Legacy and Predators, all very good and underrated movies. I hope you guys will enjoy watching that too.
Well, you know what? They're going to enjoy everything from you. And ladies and gems, you can catch Louis in Hunters. You can watch him on Kidding. And Louis, if the fans want to reach out to you on Instagram, what is your Instagram handle?
It's at Louis Ozawa. That's LouiSozawa.
Nice.
And holla at me. Yeah.
Holla at him. Be nice, though. Don't send any freaky things because he might not. Well, I don't know, but he might not. You're such a sport, Louis. You're a cool dude, man. I love your sense of humor. We had a lot of fun in this interview. I have 2 more questions for you before we end the day. Do you believe in ghosts, Louis?
Yes, absolutely. I do.
And why?
I've stayed in enough hotels all over the world, and I've definitely encountered a few ghosts here and there. I can't say I've actually seen anything, but I've definitely sensed ghosts. Mm-hmm.
And Louis, that answered my second question. I can't even ask, have you experienced anything paranormal? Because you just did. You had an experience in hotels. I hope they weren't the cleaning ladies or somebody like that. Just, you know.
No. That's a story for another time. I have woken up with a cleaning lady in my room. Which is really strange and weird. Yeah.
That's happened
but
to me
that's
before,
a story
but
for
that
another
must have been
time.
Freaky as hell.
It was freaky.
Oh, man. They got some of them. She probably wanted to come and be like, oh, let me do my job. He's sleeping anyways.
Because when you're shooting, sometimes you shoot nights and you come home and you forget to put the do not disturb sign on, and it's like the middle of the day and you're still sleeping because you're working till like 7 or 8 in the morning, and someone comes in and opens the door and there you are.
Naughty,
naked in your bed.
Ladies. Naughty. Don't you ever open his
Please don't.
Well, Louis, it's been wonderful having you on the show. I would love to
Thank
have you
you
back on anytime. You are
anytime.
A friend of our show. Please come back. Please share everything with us. And, when the fans and everybody of the show watches the next 5 episodes, I hope we can come and dissect it. And the reason why I didn't go too much into the series as far as understanding things, because I really want people to watch it. We give spoilers. We love that you gave a little bit info about your character and what's up and what's going on, but I really want everybody to watch it. You can go to Amazon Prime, watch the show. It's part of the package. Everybody these days has an Amazon account or something like that. They go to Whole Foods, so
you get it from your parents or your cousin or your aunt.
Somebody has one.
Yeah.
Somebody has
That's
an
right.
Amazon account. And they don't stop you. You could have 100 people on the same account. So just go ahead and watch Hunters on it. Watch Al Pacino. Watch Louis and a whole bunch of other cast members on it. And with that said, Louis, are you ready to sign out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio?
Oh, heck yeah.
You got it, brother. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy with Louis Ozawa for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. And Louis, are you ready to blow some kisses to the universe? 3, 2, 1. Mwah. 1 billion trillion kisses to the universe. See, I gotta do that. It's so fun getting such serious people sometimes to like do that. It's such that makes my day. Can you believe it or not? I have a stockpile of celebrities that you would never think would do that, blowing kisses. So I can actually make a kiss app. Anyways, I'm not.
There's more where that came from. Anytime.
Uh-oh. That's why you made it plural, buddy. I know that you made it.
Hey, don't get me in trouble.
Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow Louis at Louis Ozawa on Instagram. Watch him on Hunters or Kiddings or any of his movies. And with that said, peace.
Peace.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comicon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Instagram at Comic-Con Radio. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.
Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure and any time. Seriously. Thanks, brother. Cheers. Peace.
Bye-bye.